because I have spent, besides taking classes, I took all my classes always. In the evenings, I have spent more days over here than many of the newcomers have spent in the institute. In various capacities. Dean of Students was an official post. Let me, without showing off, because it's not a great achievement or thing, I think I have been a person who has been a judge for events, maximum, I think in the entire BHU, forget about IIT. And don't feel that I'm an expert in all subjects. No. I was basically a chemist. I may have taught someone here, I don't know. But I have been here in most events basically because I have been always accessible for students. So Sukha ma'am just some time back asked you how come after so many days you were here. Somehow these office bearers, volunteers, they dug me out of oblivion because of some lead from some alumnus, I believe. Right? And I hope you're now happy. You're very much happy. Okay. But for me, addressing a function of Council of Social Service is not very easy because, let me say very frankly, without offending anyone, this is the least glamorous of all the councils. Right? Because, no. Sukta ma'am, please don't look like that. I have attended many of the events of the Council of Social Service as well. In this hall, in AV84 and otherwise also. Because I have been accessible. Students aate hai, sir, aapko chalna hai. You're not getting bored, I suppose, right?
No, sir.
एक बहुत पुराना इवेंट बता रहा हूँ. I'll come back to social service. Don't worry. Because I've been missing students, I've been missing my classes, so this is an opportunity. So long back, when we were IT BHU, and I was that time chief chairman, cultural council. That's how it was called. I don't know. Now it is councillor. Same thing it is called. Chairman, some council, right? Yeah. Okay. So I was at home on a Sunday. The office bearer secretary comes, sir, jaldi chaliye. कौन से hostel है? One of the hostels. क्या करना है सर? सर वो लड़कियां मेहंदी लगा के खड़ी हैं, आपको जज करना है. This is the absurdity to which आपने कहा it was a Sunday. I said हमने अभी बात भी नहीं ली क्योंकि ऑफिस नहीं है. तो नो सर कुछ नहीं. वहाँ पे लड़कियां खड़ी है मेहंदी लगा. मेहंदी क्या मेरे साथ मतलब? So they took me over there, and there was another judge who was from the visual arts faculty of BHU who knew something about mehendi and whatever. I knew nothing, but I did judge. So this was the type of thing students did with me, and I now feel that it felt great. Expertise or no expertise. I didn't have expertise in most of the subjects which I judged. The events which we have witnessed over here brings very good memories. Well, Indian music club, dance, the most favorite event among students, and me also. Beautiful dancers here on the stage, then theatre, and you're looking so serious. What? I'll come. Don't worry. Theatre and debates, of course. Very good debates. Some of our students have been great debaters. And, well, of course, some social service council events. Now, you are the anchor over here, host, right? You mentioned that I was instrumental in starting the Council of Social Service. I think the credit mostly goes to our director of that time, Professor Rajiv Sangar. Right? Because his vision which gave us this new council. Does it mean that there were no social activities happening in our institute? No, it doesn't mean that. There were some activities, especially Kashi Utkarsh and Gyan Udyan, not Gram Udyan, which is a private initiative, and it was not initiated by me but by my wife. I don't want to take credit of that also. So she is running the whole thing, and of course, very ably aided by the volunteers from our institute. So big hand for the volunteers. So Ashim was there from a long time. Gyan Udyan was happening privately, but our director that time, Professor Rajiv Sangal, he felt that things are difficult. Students also felt it was difficult because caste people, what they would do is they would collect. Every social activity needs some funds, and it had no official status. So they collected funds from the mess. I think in those days 20 rupees each for a semester or a month. I'm not aware, but it was voluntary. Many students would contribute, many students would not contribute. It was left to them. But things were difficult because that didn't yield a lot of funds, right? So our visionary director, Professor Rajiv Sangal, felt because he was himself, he's a great humanist. He introduced courses of human values. Many of them have vanished, I believe. They are not there already. But during his time, there were a lot of courses of human values and good courses. I will come back to the social. She's just staring down at me. My God. Okay. So with all these courses, it comes from the heart of a very good human being, and he was a great educationist also. So he only called us all together. The other three clubs existed for ages. Other three councils, I'm sorry. The Cultural Council, closest to me, Sports Council, and the third one was, what is it called now?
Science and Technology.
Science and Technology Council. Okay. These were always there. They had their own festivals, and obviously students were quite happy with these councils. They were more glamorous. Cultural Council especially. Dances. So when Sangal sir proposed this Council of Social Service, even I was a little bit skeptic. Will there be many takers among students? Huh? You will prefer to go for a dance club than come and do social service, right? Sitting there, yeah, she agrees. She agrees. Yeah. So obviously the glamour coefficient was not there, and you needed something extra, right? Inside your heart to do social service. Rajiv Sangal was bang on target. Many of us felt the same. That okay, we are going to give you a good technology education. This is an IIT, right? You will get good jobs. What about society? What about the underprivileged people of society? Whether we may acknowledge or not, whether we may realize or not, we all belong to the privileged class of society. I am not talking of any caste or reservation or anything. Our surroundings, we were provided good and basic amenities, education, everything by our parents. There are many who don't have access to it. The Gyan Udyan that she mentioned, the Gyan Udyan where many of our student volunteers work, there we have children of construction workers, daily wagers, who don't have even proper houses, right? They live in those jhopadis, as we call them. And some of them even don't have access to electricity and water, right? There are two sisters, girls studying at our place nowadays, who don't have access to electricity and water. The younger one, she passed her UP board class 10 last time with 87% marks. She was a topper in her school, so we are hoping she will compete. Maybe it's a tough job competing for JEE, right? हम लोग तो JEE वाले. I know this much. Yes. And in my time there was no JEE, but I had cleared the IIT exams. उस टाइम होते थे objective नहीं होता था, written बड़े-बड़े exams होते थे. But I didn't want to become an engineer, so I didn't join. So anyway, that's besides the point. So the volunteers who are doing this work As I said, it is much easier to go to the dance club or to some debate club or some sports if you are talented enough, easier than to force yourself to think positively about the underprivileged sections of society and feel that they are equal citizens and equal stakeholders in the progress of this country. वो सिर्फ आधार कार्ड बना के दे देने से नहीं होता है, right? सबके पास आधार कार्ड है. In fact, there are many who don't even have Aadhaar cards. We found out among those construction workers. उनको कोविड वैक्सीन सबको आपको लगा है, हमको लगा है, उनको नहीं लगी वैक्सीन because they don't have. They are not citizens of this country. तो ये तो हम आँख सामने यहाँ देख रहे हैं. There must be across India in many places like that. So what I'm trying to say is, our duty does not end by providing certain basic documents only. Aadhaar cards of various of Indian citizens who get. No sir, sorry. We need right to education. It's now a fundamental right passed by a Parliament Act. But does everyone have access to education and good education? Nahi. So what is the purpose of, I can talk about Gyan, Udyan, I know Kashi Utkarsh are doing similar things. But Kashi Utkarsh के साथ एक बात है कि they are working among the bastis, Lahatara and some other one, where people are a little better off. They have at least some houses to live in. ज्ञान उद्यान वाले जो आते हैं ये तो एकदम ही लोएस्ट कैटेगरी के पकड़ के लाना पड़ता है. पेरेंट्स आर मोस्टली ड्रंकार्ड्स. दिन भर डेली वेजरी करने के बाद आके शराब पीते हैं. उनको कोई मतलब नहीं है बच्चे पढ़ रहे कि नहीं पढ़ रहे. So what actually Gyan Udyan is doing is, I'll come back to the council also, just giving a very fearful look. No, I have a lot of humor, don't mind. So the assistance which we got at home, basically from our parents after school, and maybe some had teachers to teach also extra, that doesn't matter. These children don't have access to those facilities. The schools they attend are also not very good. There is not much teaching in school nowadays. Many of us don't. And plus, they have absolutely no assistance at home. So this is where Gyan Udyan tries to fill up the gap, and thanks to the efforts of many of the volunteers of IIT BHU. Piyush Bhaiya, right? It was an excellent poem we read out. लेकिन कुछ चीजें नहीं बदलती. पीयूष भैया ही रहेंगे, right? When you go to a corporate, you will not talk about Piyush Bhaiya or Piyush sir. He will be Piyush. ये सब चीजें रिलेटेड है, याद आ जाती. सब रैगिंग टर्मिनोलॉजीज, सर, मैडम, ये वो. कितने स्टूडेंट्स को मैंने डांटा है, कहा है कि मैडम ये है, सर मैं हूँ. कुछ नहीं है. So now I was talking about Gyan Udyan. That is a private initiative held by the IIT student volunteers. Now we have left the campus, and so it has become a little uncertain. Those of you who have been coming there would know about it. So I would appeal to all of you, right, to spread a good word about Gyan Udyan. Those volunteers who come there should also take their effort so that this activity continues. And many of you may be staying back in the summer vacation because there is no vacation in IIT, I was told. Not I was told, but it happens that way, right? आजकल वो समर टर्म होता है क्या कि खत्म हो गया? अभी भी होता है. If you are too busy in extracurricular activities and don't do a little well in some paper, you sit for the summer term, right? Yes, sir. Oh my God. सर को तो सब पता है. 35 years I spent in business. Okay. So if some of you stay back, please do your bit to come and teach those kids. We would appreciate that, and any other help that you can provide, you can contact those volunteers who are at Gyan Udyan. Now coming back to the Council of Social Service. As I said initially, I was skeptical social service, how can it be institutionalized? It should come from the internal feeling of a student. But now I feel Rajiv Sangal sir was right. So he said nothing doing. So you know, the new things have to be passed by the Senate. We have a Senate where all the wise people of the institute, professors like us, they sit and they take decisions. So my role was, Sangal sir said, Mukherjee, this council has to be formed, so prepare a presentation and present it in the Senate. So that's what I did. Spoke good words about the necessity of a council of social service, how humanitarian feelings are absolutely essential for our students and technocrats, and obviously the Senate was convinced and it gave a seal of approval for the Council of Social Service. I don't exactly remember the year, 2016 or maybe even 17. Because I was dean till December 2017. So it was a very baby, this Council of Social Service. But I did attend certain events. Students would always call me and I would be there. I have judged also certain events. I had, never heard of Jagriti because it did not start during my time. He is giving me a Piyush Bhaiya an accusing look. He said, "Itna bhi aapko nahi pata hai." Jagriti, this is fourth Jagriti?
Yes, sir.
Fourth, okay. So which means the first one was in 2020.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I was out of the scene in 2020 and there was COVID, lockdown and everything. So for me, when these people came and told me, he and Nishtha, yeah. Actually, among many serious things, you have to have some humor also. I did this in my class also. So Nishtha called me up, and because you know, by nature we get many spam calls every day. Real estate खरीदिए, तो shares खरीदिए, तो ये खरीदे. I about to hang up, but then I listened to her. Nishtha, never heard of the name. In fact, in my entire 35 years spending over here, I have never seen a Nishtha. So you're the first one. There are some names which are very common. Neha, आपको हर साल 5-10 मिल जाएंगे. Nishtha, no. So Nishtha means also very good thing. I hope you are very Nishthavan for a man, Nishthavati for a girl. Oh, you don't know so much Hindi. Yes, okay. So these are the people, and I'm very thankful to you that you managed to reach me and inform me about this festival. So I had new knowledge about this sort of a festival going on because I'm used to Kashi Yatra, Spardha and techniques, right? The privileged ones, the Brahmins of our Gymkhana. तो इनके लिए भी थोड़ा सा first time पता चला, and I have always appreciated social work and appreciate people who do it. And I remember the first year I was still a dean. There was a health and hygiene club, I believe.
Yeah.
So they organized a blood donation camp. Then they called doctors from our IMS BHU for CPR training and demonstration, and all this good work was done. And some other debates again, because the easiest thing to do is put up a debate. Right. So I am very sure that Council of Social, where did it come here? Yeah, please. That will be easier for me than breathing down my neck. Okay. So, Sukha ma'am, you are not feeling offended by my performance? Because you are a serious person basically, I think. Yeah. So, but I am meeting students in a sort of hall after about 5 years, and not even in class, so I can take some liberty, I believe, right? Right. So, what are the clubs, by the way, in this council? Please give me a rehash.
काशी उत्कर्ष,
काशी उत्कर्ष,
सहयोग,
सहयोग. What is this सहयोग?
ये लोग भी स्कूल जाते हैं और जो काशी उत्कर्ष करता है वही वो
अच्छा,
कुछ और-
Sahayog is one club whose activity I never understood earlier also, now also I don't understand. Anyway, you're doing good work, continue it. अच्छा, then that health and hygiene,
Health and
right?
hygiene club and
Yes.
fourth one is social projects club.
Social projects. Social projects. Projects is a very very fashionable word nowadays. Students आते हैं फर्स्ट ईयर के बाद घर नहीं जाना, क्यों नहीं घर जाना भाई, go back to your parents. नहीं, प्रोजेक्ट करना है ना, फैशन, प्रोजेक्ट करना, घर वालों के ऊपर नक्शा ले लें, क्या बेटा क्यों नहीं यार प्रोजेक्ट करो, ठीक है प्रोजेक्ट करो, राइट. नाउ आई बिलीव द मैसेज डोंट क्लोज, सम ऑफ द अदर नेस वुड बी वर्किंग, right? So social projects club, yes, this is serious business. So these are very good clubs, very good activities, and in fact the invitation letter you sent me,
Yes, sir.
I think I saw a couple of names. One was Amrit Bang,
Yes.
the other one was Bezwara Wilson, right?
Yes, sir.
They were here last year?
But in online.
Online.
Online mode.
Online, they were not here. Okay. So, these are big names. Bezwara Wilson is a Maxis Award winner. He has himself faced a lot of discrimination in his life, and he did something to mitigate the suffering of similar people. And Amrit Bang, of course, I have not met, but Sukhna madam, if you remember, Abhay Bang, his father, who started all this business, Nirman, was here for a convocation, and then we heard his lecture. That was during Professor Rajiv Sangal's time. We were all people known to Professor Sangal. During Professor Sangal's time, we have had big people over here. I don't know whether you have heard of Jean Reyes. The name sounds very funny to you. He is Belgian, I believe, origin. Very noted economist. And he works, and all his theory are for the underprivileged. So he came and gave lectures. It was during one of those many human values classes. So big people have come over here and given us lectures. This is all connected with social activities. You may be thinking I'm talking irrelevant things. No. When a person of the level of Jean